all right. Y'all know what time it is, right? I am here. I am Angela A. Love Lewis, and this is We Shine Media Spotlight. I'm putting it on for the co-authors of Her, Unshakable, Unbreakable, and Unstoppable. So if you have been missing out. You've been missing out if this is the first one that you're catching, but it's okay because you're coming in at the right time. But if you've caught them all, baby, we start at the end of April and we are going to the end of May. And let me tell you, 25 beautiful women who have shown up and showed out as co-authors of this phenomenal book. And so I'm excited for you to be here to find out about her. What is that? What is that about? Becoming her. That is what we're doing, introducing the series so you get to know these authors as you read the book. Or hopefully, even if you haven't gotten the book, knowing the author should make you want to run out and get your copy, right? So make sure you connect with the ladies, whether it's someone you know or someone you're meeting virtually. Make sure you reach out and let them know that, hey, I loved your interview. I love what you said, and it resonated with me. So I forgot to read your chapter. That's just how good. That's what the setup is for you to get to know these ladies one-on-one and then read their chapter so you can kind of understand how and why their journey caused them to become her. So that's what it's all about. So every night, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you're on the West Coast, baby, it's 4 p.m. where you are. Either way, tune in, tag somebody, share the broadcast, let them know that, hey, this is about to be on and popping so you can get the information. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm so excited. And every time we have these conversations, I get more and more hyped up because these ladies have been bringing it. You hear me? They have been bringing it. So I want you to help me welcome to the stage our next author. I'm telling you, she's not a stranger to writing books because she just wrote her own not too long ago. And so Heartbreak's Muse is one that you need to get in your literary cabinet or on your shelf or in your phone, download it on your Kindle, wherever you need to get it and get that book because she put some stuff in there and then she came back and she became part of this anthology. So let me welcome to the virtual stage. Yay! Joi Miles, everybody. Welcome, Joy. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Fantastic, baby. So, Miss Doris introduced our new song, right? Our theme song for Unshakable, Unbreakable, Unstoppable, Her. So you're the first one besides her. She went out and got it. I'm gonna let it be played for you so people can, get a little taste of who we are and what we're about. So nice little violin.
I like that.
I like it too. Girl. I was like, okay. Boom. I thought that was too cute. Sparky said, yes, love it. That's nice. That's nice right there. So, Joy, you went from Heartbreak's Muse to a whole chapter in this book, Her. Unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. And I'm going to tell them off the rip. Your title is I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through, a testimony of resilience, redemption, and grace. Now, I need you to talk about that thing. I need to know how you went from the Heartbreaks Muse and then you came to I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, the thing is, we all have a story. We all have something that we can say or that we can tell. We all have our own testimony, something that we can use to help others get through their triumphs and hard times. And
Mhm.
just like everybody else, I have my fair share of stories, and I can still wake up every day with a smile on my face. I can still wake up every day and be grateful and be thankful for the next opportunity, the next test, whatever it may be. You know, I don't look like what I've been through, and for that, I'm grateful.
Yes, because you know what the reality is, people may think they know your story, but they don't know. They just know the part of the story that you give them. They don't know all the deep down dirty, dirty stuff. You know, they don't know all the super, super ugly, ugly stuff. You know, you might just kind of give them a little something. You know, they might be like, oh, girl, I know her, but you don't really know like you think you
Right.
know. But the reality is, even with what you've been through, you don't have to look like it. You out here, you know what I'm saying, glowed up, hair looking good, you know what I'm saying? Out here being a boss chick, doing your thing, being a mom of 4 boys.
And now I'm actually the caregiver for my dad. He had a stroke. And so I have 5 boys. Well, 6 if you want to include the cat.
What can you say? Surrounded by boys and men. Yes. But so let's talk about that because that is something. As Sparkle said, people have no clue what people have been through. Period. You don't know. And when you are already, you know, a mother of 4 boys, that right there in and of itself is a challenge. You
Yeah.
know, because you're a little bitty girl. You know what I'm saying? You ain't out here, you know what I'm saying? You little bitty. So to have boys, you know, they always say like you gotta handle boys a little rough. I mean, you gotta get on them girls too, but you gotta handle boys a little different. So what has your experience been as a boy mom?
I can honestly say that I don't have to act like that with my boys. I do have 2 sons that are on the spectrum. I have two
Okay.
sons with autism, and I have not had to act like that with my boys. I don't have to be rough with them. They've always
Yeah.
been very understanding and open minded, even for young children. And I've never kept anything from them, like the truth of any matter. I've never kept the truth from them. Uh,
Miss
thankfully,
Doris said you
certainly
looking
I'll
young
be 40
yourself while you out here trying to raise somebody.
right, right. I'll be 40 in August, so I'm
Come
trying
on,
to get
head
there.
on crack. Yes.
I got good boys. They make being a boy mom easy. Um, I
That's
can't
beautiful.
I can't complain. I cannot complain. They are very understanding, very open minded. I can have conversations with them, and they, for their ages, are have just always been so understanding. And I know that's probably something that they got from me,
Hmm.
but just so cool. It's so good to see that in them because they know that I, even on my days where I'm falling short, that I don't mean any harm to them, to anybody. I'm just having an off day, and I just, need to work through it. And at the same time, I'm showing them that every day won't be perfect. Every day won't be rainbows and sunshines. You will have to take some good with the bad. You will have some rainy days, but still be cool, show grace to others, to yourself, and know that trouble don't last always. It's gonna always
Come
work in
on.
your favor.
And that's such a great thing to teach children, period. Because sometimes we give people the illusion, you know, in this day and age, you know, people are there, the boys are so into the video games and things, you know, so in the video game, they see things happening that sometimes they think, oh, okay, well, this is how life is. You know, I'm winning, I'm scoring, I'm doing this. That's not always the case. So it sets them up for a false reality. And
It
you are saying, I don't care what you see over here, things are going to happen. Things are going to change you. Things are going to, you know, happen. But you got to know that this too shall pass and you're
yeah.
going to be okay. And what the Bible says, joy cometh in the morning, right?
Mhm.
So I want to read how you started this off. And again, your title, I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through, a testimony of resilience, redemption, and grace. You started off by saying, I was never supposed to make it this far. Statistically, emotionally, spiritually, I was supposed to break. I was supposed to become another woman whose name is whispered in conversations about wasted potential and unfulfilled purpose. Another woman who let her pain define her. Another woman who never found her way back to herself. But by the grace of God, I am still here. I learned early how to survive, how to smile while hurting, how to pray while doubting, how to hope while drowning, how to keep going when my heart was tired. People saw my strength, but they never saw my nights. Baby, that's how you start. Ms. Doris said redemption, resilience, and grace, all three. When you can start off and say, I was never supposed to make it, everything was designed to take me out. They was trying to shake me up. They were trying to break me. They were trying to stop me, but I already knew it was something on my life that I wasn't supposed to be a statistic. Where did you get that from? Where did you learn that? Who taught you that?
I actually had to learn a lot on my own. Um, Bible, uh, and actually, quite yet. I-
I'm sorry, it's breaking up a little bit, Joe. I don't know what happened.
oh, can you hear me?
Okay, say it again. You said you actually learned a lot on your own because you had to figure it out.
It was that I had to teach myself. It was a lot that I had to show myself.
Hmm.
I am used to being one of those people that are on their own. Not a lot of support, not a lot of help. I just had to figure things out, and I had to figure
Hmm.
things out as I went. I made mistakes. I did things wrong. I was very, very hard on myself, very overcritical of myself. I'm my biggest critic. And so I was just expecting to get out here and just do things right all the time, to be perfect. That's what I thought I was supposed to be, right and perfect. And
Right.
I got here and I found out quickly that that's not realistic and that I had to get out here and I had to touch that stove a few times and see that it was hot before I learned, hey, don't touch the stove no more.
What you saying, baby? When you touch it one time too many, you realize I don't want to feel like that again. Let me not do that anymore. I want to
Right.
go to another part where you said, because when you've never truly felt loved, you start accepting anything that feels close. I looked for validation in the wrong places. I settled for less than I deserved. I tolerated things that I should have walked away from, not because I was weak, but because I was empty. Baby, when I tell you the truth and the transparency, because even though you wrote this chapter, I'm sure it's going to be some people who are going to feel like, whoa, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was just me, but
It's not
it's
a lot
not.
of same story. A lot of us have the same things that we, go through. And yeah, they are not alone. That's the point of my transparency is to let people know that you are not by yourself. This is not just a you thing. And if it's anything that you ever need to speak about, if you ever have any questions, I'm an open book, and I'm always here to help, and I'm always here to guide. And if it's anything that I can do, for anybody, I'm one of those people that you can't embarrass because I'm just way overly honest. I'm too honest, you know, when time comes and I don't mind sharing my story. And so Yeah, I was empty, pouring from an empty vessel. Had to find the hard way that you cannot do that. I was giving myself when I was depressed. I was giving myself. I was in. I was giving myself. I just didn't have the strength to even carry on for myself. And
But God, like Miss Doris said,
for
but
God,
God.
yeah. The whole time I'm thinking I'm by myself and not even realizing that God been with me the whole time, the whole way. I have been carried like no other. And now I sit back with a different mind frame and I look back on certain situations and I just see where I've been carried from. I see where I've been brought from. I can't do nothing but be grateful. I'm thankful.
Come
Like,
on, and it's thankful Thursday. Thankful every single day because it's so much in here. Because you say at the end when you're wrapping it up, I thank God for everything, known and unknown. Today I stand as proof that storms don't get the last word, proof that broken women can rebuild beautiful lives, proof that God specializes in resurrection stories. I don't look like what I've been through. I look like what I survived. I look like what I conquered. I look like what I became. I look like her. Babe, I want to throw this phone at you, girl, because that was good. I want to throw it at you. That was so good because people have no idea the strength that it takes.
to be me.
Baby, heavy is the crown. And you know how people sometimes say, girl, they want to be like you or they want to, whatever, whatever. They have no idea. None. None.
But I was built for it. And when I say my prayers, when I pray and ask for things, I like I said once before, when things is probably not gonna come in the form that you think it's gonna come. It's not gonna come the way that you expect it to look like. It's gonna come in the way that is actually gonna help you get to the point that you're trying to get to. The strength that you're praying for, you're gonna be put in situations that's gonna test your strength and it's gonna
Right.
see how strong you are. Just clarity. When you pray clarity, you will be put in situations where you are will be tested. It get what you pray, get what you ask. And I asked for every bit of it, and so I can't complain about having to go through it because I've overcome, I've learned, I've become better as a person, as a woman, as a mother, sister, daughter.
Come on. Because you know what? It's the word says all things work together for good. So even when you get something that you're not expecting, I always say, Joy, a lot of times, sometimes the worst things turn out to be the best things.
Oh yeah,
You
oh
think like, this is the worst thing in the world that could have happened. And then you look back and say, this might have worked out for me better than I thought. Because God knows, even when you don't know what you
yeah,
need, who you need to be with. The
yeah.
person that you think like, oh, he fine, baby. Oh, way. And then he's like, that wasn't it. That wasn't the one for you, baby. That one right there is the one was trying to shake you, break you, and stop you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because you will have those hurdles. They will be
Yes,
put in front of you to see how
yes,
you overcome it, to see if you can conquer it.
yes.
We can't let it stop us. We
But you
we
got to
can't.
pass the test. You know what I'm saying? We got to pass the test.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I feel like I'm passing. I feel like I'm doing everything that I need to do, that I'm being led to do, that is asked of me. And the only thing I really pray for at this point is to be able to do everything with grace, gracefully.
Mm, that's good to have grace because people don't realize grace is so powerful. Grace for other people, but grace for yourself too. We're like our hardest critics on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like Anything you want to do, you have self-limiting beliefs, you have negative self-talk, you self-sabotage. We are
Mhm.
so hard on ourselves, but we should know, give yourself some grace.
Yeah, you should know. But it's like that. Like I said, it's one of those things that I had to learn because I was very, very hard on myself. I was just as hard on myself as I felt like other people were. And I felt like that was the way that I was supposed to be treated for a long time. And so it was a
Mm,
lot of things that I accepted that I shouldn't have. It was a lot of things that I went through with people that I should have let go of earlier. But, you know, it's never too late to learn. It's never
it's
too late
never.
to. The important part is learning, getting good, and just becoming better. That old dead skin and just come out better than before.
Yes, I love it. Because when we talk about becoming her, and I always say, that ing, that's continual. You don't just become her and stop. You continue to grow, you continue to stretch, you continue to live life. And in the midst of living, that, as they say, life be life. But when you trust God, God be God. And so it doesn't matter.
Always,
Life can do what it do, but God always got you.
always, always. And I am so thankful. It's some things that, I don't mention. It's things that I do keep personal to myself, keep my cards close to my chest. But
Yeah.
I think about it and I go over it and I just know if it were not for God, but God,
But God.
if it were not for God, I don't know where I would be. I probably would not be here talking to y'all. Like,
Right.
I would not. I have overcome so much. I just can't do anything thankful.
And that's such a good thing, to have, and for you coming on tonight to, really talk about being thankful and grateful to God, for all the things he's done, and the thing about it is we see some of the things that God does for us, but what about all the unknown things that he does? You got to be grateful for seen and unseen, known and unknown, because there's some things that God has got us through that you like, baby, if God hadn't gotten me out of this, I don't know where I would be. I don't know what I would be doing.
And there's a lot of things behind closed doors that we don't know about. Things that people say that we don't hear, that we are being shielded and covered from. Don't
Isn't
listen.
that the truth?
The
You have
weapons,
no idea.
but they will not prosper. And yeah, keep it over there. Thank you for the covering.
Exactly. 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 You know, I really enjoy when I talk to you because it's just how you have outlook, how you see things, and how you move through life. For Joy, what makes Joy strong? Like, do you do affirmations? What are you doing that helps you stay focused and clear and moving forward?
I do a lot of breathing exercises. I have to breathe. I get outside, I get sun. The sun works wonder for me. Put my feet in the grass, I ground. I do meditate, I do affirmations. Um, I pray and I
Mm.
pray and I
What do you say? Point blank, period. Let's make sure you understand.
yes, ma'am. I pray the hardest that I can, and I'm learning to, even when I'm going through things, try to find a silver lining, trying to find the good in everything, with everything that has been going on, recently, instead of trying to dwell on it, because it does get stressful. Things do get
Mhm.
hard. I
Absolutely.
find myself stopping and asking, all right, so what's the best that can happen from this situation?
Oh, come on.
What's the
And
best
it
that can
takes a while to get there, Joy. You know what? Because most people question, but they're not looking for the answer for the best case scenario. They're just looking at, this happened. And it takes going through the process. Like you said, of touching the stove enough time to say, you know what, let me stop doing that because that thing is hot. And then having the discipline to not do it.
right? Been there. I'm just glad I know better. I know better. And when you know better, you do better. And I just,
Yes.
I'm all right with it. I'm all right with everything. I don't have any that I have said about, you know, bad about. I'm tired. It does get exhausting. With strength, I have prayed.
That's it. We can't hear you now. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Somebody may have called you or something? Something might have happened. Say it again.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can now. Yeah.
I was just saying that I'm okay. That everything is okay.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing. I want to read your bio. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what this comment is. Oh, Miss Miss Doris said, "We all been there. When you know better, you do better."
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Joy Miles is a resilient mother of four, an inspirational storyteller, and an emerging voice for healing, faith, and personal transformation. Her journey through adversity, single motherhood, and emotional healing has shaped her passion for encouraging others to embrace their strength and reclaim their worth. Through her writing and personal testimony, Joy shares messages of resilience, self love, and spiritual growth, inspiring women to overcome their past and walk confidently in their purpose. Her work reflects her belief that pain can become power and that healing begins with faith, self discovery, and perseverance. Baby, let me tell you, that ain't all of it, but I'm going to stop right there. Let's talk about pain can become power. How do you channel the pain into power?
Um, you have to go through it. It's no step, no stone that can go unturned. You have to face it. You have to go through it. You have to feel it. If you need to cry, you gotta cry. If you need to, have your good crash out, do it, but gracefully and get back to you.
Mhm.
It's something that you have to go through. It's something that you have to experience. And experience is the
Got it, got it. I'm going to tell you, turning pain into power is a superpower for people. You know what I'm saying? When you learn how to do that, that's when you're unshakable. That's when you're unbreakable and unstoppable because what is meant to hurt you, you shift it and then you channel it into something bigger and better. But it takes a while to get there. It takes a while to be able to know how to do that.
It does. And it did take me a while. I can't, like I said, I can't even say, you know, what exactly I did. The steps are, they can't be ignored. And you just have to do whatever it is that you're feeling within yourself to get over it and turn it into something.
Exactly. So you said in that piece of it, you also said that healing begins with faith and self-discovery. You got to know you.
Yeah. And you
You
got to
got to
be honest
spend
with
time with you.
yourself. Hmm.
Yes. Let's talk about being honest with yourself because I think a lot of people they say people can lie to you, but you should not. You might lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to you.
Yourself. You can't, you have to sit down with yourself and you have to do your shadow work. You have to go through those emotions. You have to go through the situation. You probably don't want to relive it. Like I have a thing where I take certain situations and I just put it in that little pocket in my brain and don't worry about it. But eventually something is gonna come up to where you have to pay it some attention and you
Right.
have to go ahead and just tell yourself. So in this situation, yes, they did these things to hurt me, but I would self allow it. So I make them think that it was okay to come like or to me, no matter.
You know what? I think it is. Because I can't hear you now. Back up from the phone a little bit. I think that's what it is. As soon as you get close, that's when I can't hear you. So say it again.
Can you hear me?
Now I can. So stay where you are right there. When you lean up, I think it's too close for it.
Okay. I was just pretty much saying that you have to face yourself. You have to ask yourself all the hard questions, and you just have to be honest with you in order to overcome those things, in order to, work through those things, in order to turn that into something that is going to make you powerful.
Yes. Sparkle said, facing you saves you.
Mhm.
And that's the reality. And I think so many people, how you have people say, I can't even look at myself in the mirror. That's step one. You got to be able to look at you. If you don't look at nobody else, you need to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. And
Yeah.
it's hard when you have been pushing things, like you say, you put it in this pocket and you just leave it there. You think, I ain't never got to deal with that again. But you do. You have to.
Yeah, and if you don't deal with it, then it will come back on. Think you got anything else to get in there, boop it, something else. You got to get together too. You think you got it, right? You never miss me.
I can hear you now. See, I can hear you.
Because it is making a weird noise when you say that. I don't know what it is though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it'll cut out, and then when you back up a little bit, it comes back in. So, but yes, I think that a lot of times we just want to push things back and not have to deal with it. But at the end of the day, you have to face yourself. And one of the things you said, in addition to that, is perseverance. You got to stay with it. You can't stop in the middle of it.
You can't give up on you.
Cannot. That's powerful. Sparkle said, if you don't deal with it, it will deal with you.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's a fact.
Yeah. I am still carrying things in my adulthood uh that had a lot to do with childhood
Yeah.
about here.
And you know what? I think people feel like you can bury the childhood drama, but there's a little girl or a little boy inside people that is still hurt. And you've left them and pushed them back, but you got to go back and say, you know what? We're going to be okay. And let's talk about it. We're going to be okay. We got to reveal what's hurt us so that we can heal.
Yeah.
Because when you keep hiding things, that's what keeps making it bad. That's what you take an unhealed child and that becomes an unhealed adult.
Oh yeah.
Now we are here in relationships and broken people, breaking people. What they say, hurt people, hurt people.
People, yes, yes. But then I try to not fit that narrative. I'm one of those hurt people that knows how that feels, and I don't want to make anybody else feel the way that I felt. And
Yeah.
so I try to keep that in mind so I can deal with people differently than what I would have been built. I try to be for
Mhm.
people what I need people to be for me.
Oh, come on, Joy. So when you say that, I'm going to read the last paragraph of your bio because it says, today, Joy is committed to breaking generational cycles, uplifting others through her story, and living a life grounded in gratitude, purpose, and the grace of God. So the fact that you said, I try not to do to others what was done to me. I try to make sure that I be better. I become the change I want to see. That's how you break generational cycles.
Yeah. Um, can-
Can you?
Is that better?
Okay. Yeah.
Saying that I'm the one with people.
Mm-mm. It's not. I'm trying to figure out. I wonder if you try to turn it back the other way. Maybe I don't know if it will be stable or something or what. Okay, now see. Yes. Okay.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I don't know. Just try again.
We're gonna keep trying, baby, because it's too good for us to not hear what you got to say.
Right. I just, I just try to be to people with
Adria 318 says, I'm here. Hi, sis.
their hopes.
But it's good to be, a generational cycle breaker, because like you said, you don't want your boys growing up with a false sense of the world is going to be like this. You want them to know and listen to you. Who you got?
Oh, that was good. That's my second son.
Oh, hey, second son.
Cool him outside. I said, look, I got something to do, and I don't need y'all in here loud on me today. And everybody back and everybody quiet. They being so my
That's good. I mean, you just have some great sons, and they are proud of their mom, and they respect what you do. And I mean, on top of that, I mean, it don't hurt that you feed them good. While you over there being the chef with the mostest, so they probably like, what we eating today? That's what we doing.
I need two refrigerators and a deep freezer. Nobody warned me that I was gonna be feeding them by the truckload, and it's yeah, I
Baby, they
do.
growing. What they say, baby, we are growing. We gotta have something up in here. So, did you? How did who taught you how to cook?
Actually, I knew from like second, third grade that I wanted to learn how to cook. I actually remember my mama, she was smothering some pork chops and I watched her make her gravy. My mama always made her gravy from scratch. And I was
Okay.
asking questions and I was like, Mama, what you doing next? What are you doing now? And she broke it down to me and she showed me how to make that gravy. And you can't play with my gravy. Now it's from scratch.
Come on, what you say, baby? If I ain't do nothing else, I perfected that gravy.
I think that was just God from a long time ago, building me to be what I was gonna need to be because
Yeah.
we're people, even though girls.
Mr. Do It All Memphis said, okay, okay, my sisters love your book. Loves your book. That's good. That's good. I'm telling you, you wrote it heartbreaks muse, and even with this chapter, I mean, like the way that you have with words is really good, of putting things together and helping people understand. And even with dealing with things, like you said, I don't look like what I've been through, being able to come out on the other side, because Crystal wrote her book The Other Side of Ugly, and we deal with ugly things sometimes,
We do.
but you got to come out on the other side, because on the other side of abandonment is love, or other side of rejection. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you experience on the ugly side, you got to get it together so that you can experience better on the good side.
Yeah. I remember like letting the situation harden my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't it
Mm-mm. Okay, still can't hear you now.
that was crazy. No, I was saying that I had to unlearn some things to relearn some things so I could learn to use my heart better.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
could be better. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of what I had to learn.
But you know what? That's so powerful, because again, like you say, just because I went through something doesn't mean that's my life, and that doesn't mean that I have to go out here and cut other people who didn't, have anything to do with it. I can't go out here and make it worse.
Right. I had to learn not to let it define me.
That's good, because
Not
Tabitha
take it
Brown
personal.
always say, "Look, you might have a messed up day, but don't you dare go out here messing up somebody else's."
Mhm.
And that
And I
should be.
feel that. I feel that.
Exactly. Exactly. That's something powerful for people. But let me ask you this. You mentioned at the top of the show that, your dad had a stroke, and so now you're a caregiver. That's a whole different ball game right there, is it not?
It's not. but I do feel like I've been prepared for, the task at hand, because it's
Mm-hmm.
just in me naturally. I'm a nurturer. I like to care for people. Like, my love language is taking care of people, feeding people, just being able to take care of people and help people feel good. Being able
Mm-hmm.
to make people happy makes me happy. It makes me feel good. And so the transition wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I think I just
Mm-hmm.
overthought the situation. I'm an overthinker, and my mind is always going. And so the transition has not been as stressful or as bad as I thought it would be. It's actually turning out to be uh, a good experience because we're bonding. Uh,
Mm. That's good.
yeah, I feel like in things that are being spoken, we're healing some things within ourselves and within our relationship. Um, something at least I can do is that, you know.
Yeah, I see. Tammy said your strength is encouraging to so many.
Thank you.
Yes. And then Hennessy said, honey, you repeated, my circumstances do not define who I am.
Not at all. Not at all. The things happen to us for us to learn from in a positive manner. It's not supposed to hurt us. It's not supposed to, make us bitter or mad or have us full of resentment. We are supposed to take the bad and turn it, transmute it into something good for us, for ourselves. And that's just one of those lessons that, we're not being taught. And if we're lucky, we can catch on and grasp it and, maneuver the way. But everybody don't get it. And so I
And
pray that
everybody doesn't have people speaking into their life. And so that's why I'm so glad to see you talking about I talk to my boys. And they are not, I don't have to be hard with my boys. I can be soft with them. And for them to know that doesn't mean that you're weak because you're soft. You got
right,
a lot of people take softness for weakness, you know what I'm saying? But really and truly, to manage your emotions, to manage how you do things, that is strength. It's
it
the
is.
person who can't control themselves is really weak. They may go out here and beat somebody up and do all these other things, but that's weakness because you can't control your emotions, you can't control your actions. That's the weakness. The
Yeah.
strong ones are the ones who can regulate that thing and say, you know, I really want to get down with you, but not not doing
I have my moments now. I can't sit here and play 100% innocent. We do get to that point to where we're like, all right, now
it.
you're reaching. All right, now you're about to push me to this limit. So, and that's where the breathing exercises come in. That's where I have to go ahead and do my woo size and my
Right. Go outside and walk in the grass a little bit, put my thoughts together.
right. Let's stick a pin in it and let's come back to it. Cause right now you got me boiling a little bit, and I don't want to overdo it. Cause the
I
verse
can.
we can overdo it.
Yeah, for
we gonna
sure. For
we
sure.
gonna, we gonna take it easy or we not. It's no in between.
That's funny what you say. But again, it goes back to you got to know yourself. When you know yourself, you know when somebody's pushing your buttons, and then you got to regulate that. You can't let them push you into something. You got to maintain and say, you know what? I need a minute for
Right,
both of us, for me and for you.
right. For you mostly, but for me
For you
too.
mostly, exactly. That part, really for you, but I'm a breathe through this thing.
Yeah.
Tammy said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called God's kids."
Oh, I agree with that. I
Yes,
like this nice. Yeah. I just, like I said, I want to be to people what I want people to be to me. And I'm not one of those people that you have to be forceful with. You don't have to be loud with me. You don't have to like dumb down what you're saying to get me to understand. I understand a lot. And I know I come from a different maybe place than what you're used to, but it's a certain way that you got to deal with me, and I'm gonna deal with you the way that I want you to deal with me, because it's a
yeah,
lot that's just uncomfortable, and you ain't got to do me like that. I'm not one of those ones
exactly.
that. to do like that.
Exactly. So, Joy, as a writer, what do you read?
Uh, I'm like I'm a Vicky fan, so I
I can't hear you again. Wait a minute. Say it again.
is that better for me?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I'm an Eric Jerome Dickey fan. I like me some Zane.
Okay.
I'm one of those people. I don't try a lot of new things. When I find something that I like, I just stick with it and go from
Mm-hmm.
there. You know, I like to surprise myself later on down the line and try something new or read something new. But for right now, those have always been some.
You go to. Got it. Got it. So listen, I give everybody the opportunity to have their spotlight moment where you can tell anybody whatever it is you want to say, whether it's about Heartbreak's Muse, whether it's about I don't look like what I've been through, if it's about becoming her, if you want to talk about, what you've learned being a caregiver and a mother of four boys and a cat. Whatever it is you want to share with them, this is your time to do that. So I'm gonna give you your spotlight moment.
Um, I just I want to pull the part, so I'm gonna freestyle it as best I can. I'm grateful for the opportunity first and foremost. To be able to get out there, take the process, because I'm here.
Back it up one more time because I know they didn't hear all of that.
Uh, See, I was saying that I didn't know. I hear that weird sound again, so I didn't know if y'all could hear me. But um, this opportunity was great. I enjoyed working with the ladies that I worked with. I apologize that I've not been active, as everybody else, but I am just one of those people when I'm going through, I do put some what I got going on at hand. It was nothing personal. It was a lot on my plate. So that's all I had to say. Oh, for being here. Thank y'all for me. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for y'all's interest in, that y'all did in my group. I appreciate y'all. So much, y'all. All the love.
I know they still got bits and pieces of it because it was still kind of garbled up. She said, but um, like I said, put pics side by side. I don't know what it is that's going on with it. However, we might have to do a separate recording, Joy, again. And then Miss Tammy said you are beautiful inside and out. And you have such a sweet, sweet spirit. And she said a still sound voiceover. Yeah, we got to do something where she can come in and really kind of, just put it out there so we can hear because you dropped some good gems. And like I said, when you start talking about being a generational curse, breaking that cycle, it's some wisdom behind there. And like you said, I do not look like what I've been through. And that's a powerful thing. And then you came back and said, because your life is a testimony of resilience, redemption, and grace. And you got to give grace to other people and to yourself.
You do. It's
Yes,
so
ma'am. Sure. So, Miss Doris said, thank you, Joy. That was a beautiful thing. And like I said, we might have to come back and just redo another recording sometime when you got some time and, just run a special for them to really get to hear what you have to say. But for if nothing else, read that chapter, because I'm telling y'all heard me read the beginning, how she started and how she ended. And if you don't get nothing else, those two things right there was top tier, next level. I'm telling you, you better check out Joy Miles. You better follow her as an author, because what she writes, amazing.
Thank you.
All right, so it can be done. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, so listen, y'all make sure, because y'all see Joy's here tonight. We got interview number 15 tomorrow. Come on back, because I'm going to be talking to Erica tomorrow. And so y'all make sure that you come back, because I'm telling y'all, these ladies have been doing the doggone thing. When we talk about becoming her, oh, I'm telling you, anybody should be able to look at any one of these and get you some tips, some tools, and some strategies to help make your life much, much better. Before we get out of here, Joy, I'm going to hit this song one more time, and then we're going to get on out of here.
Unshakable, unbreakable, unstoppable. Unshakable, unshakable, unbreakable, unbreakable, unstoppable.
Boom, there it go. All right, we are out of here, Joy. Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.